So whether it's to a trust or to probate, the loan has to be done to correctly equalize the distribution and preserve that tax base.
Tanis, let me ask you another question. Try and break down in easy to understand terms what probate is, and can you get a loan during probate to maintain that Prop 19 lower tax base?
Yes, you can. So probate and a trust essentially operate very similarly when it comes to the Prop 19 side. So probate is if you pass without having a living trust. So you essentially did not spell out your last wishes, or if you just have a will but not a living trust, you're going to have to go through the probate process. And during the probate process is when they determine who are the rightful heirs to that decedent. And then once they determine that, then you have to also determine what were the assets, and then are there any liabilities. So you kind of, instead of having it listed out very pretty in a trust that already states all of this, all of that's going to be determined through probate, which is through the court system. So both sides, the law is still the same when it comes to equalizing distributions for Prop 19 purposes. So whether it's to a trust or to probate, the loan has to be done to correctly equalize the distribution and preserve that tax base. The only difference between the two loan-wise is the trust side is you're dealing with a trust. The probate side, you need letters of administration and a notice of proposed action in lieu of what you would usually use as the trust. But the only difference between the two mainly is with trust administration, you can do the loan and then administer the property, deed it out to the individual who's keeping it right away. With probate, you have to do the loan, but then you also have to apply for a final petition to close probate. So the time frame on closing probate is a little bit longer than having a trust. So you're at the mercy of the court and their timeliness with getting everything completed to get the property out of probate and into the individual's name.
Okay, that was a great explanation. Let me break something down on that. Two things. The moral of the story is get a living trust.
Yes.
Instead of just having a will, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the second part is people probably don't realize how long probate can take. So I'm a beneficiary. I'm one of three people. I'm going to inherit some real estate. How long can it take? No guarantees. How long can probate take?
It's on average throughout all the counties, I'm seeing about 9 months.
Yeah.
Some are longer. Some, if you have all the beneficiaries, everyone consents, everyone's getting along, it could maybe speed up a little bit faster, but there are certain time frames that you can't speed up with probate. So I would say all in all, 9 months is an average of them all. So you see the difference between somebody passes, the trustee can sign a grant deed and transfer property out, distribute assets right away, whereas probate, you're looking at 9 months before being able to actually have everything closed.
So probate versus trust, just rough numbers. If a probate takes up to 9 months, whoever's getting that property may have to wait that long before it's really officially theirs, as opposed to a trust. I'm not saying right away, 30 days, 60 days, substantially less time for them to do that.
Yes, and especially if you're dealing specifically with the loan to the trust or estate for Prop 19 purposes, the loan to the trust is short-term, meant to correctly equalize distributions, preserve the tax base. So on the trust side, you can do this loan to the trust and then turn around next day, deed the property to the acquiring beneficiary, and then they can refinance it to long-term financing that's in their name right away. So they're all in all, their total time frame is, we'll call it 30, 45 days. The probate side, you have to fund, there's a timeline, and there's a specific order it goes in that you fund this loan. After the loan is funded in probate, you then can apply for your final petition to close out probate. But the problem is that has a couple months delay from when you fund to when you actually can close out probate. And I say a couple months, every county is a little bit different, but let's just call it a couple months at least from when you fund the loan till probate's closed and the property is in the individual's name. So they're in the estate loan a little bit longer because they're at the mercy of the courts and how quickly they can get it closed out. And then they can refinance once probate's closed and they have that final petition. So timing wise, again, it's much quicker and easier with the trust than it is on the probate side. But loan wise, they operate the same when you're dealing with Proposition 19.